Hey, welcome back to the show. This is Relax Radio, and we're talking about all these things that is pushing through right now in the UK. And one of this is the issues that MPs want a law to protect care home visiting rights. Yeah, that's right. The rights of care home residents to have visits from loved ones must be underpinned by law, according to a new report by cross-party MPs. Yeah, that is what they've been discussing about, and the Joint Committee on Human Rights said it was unacceptable that some care home providers had argued it was not safe to follow, the government guidance. This is what they were trying. And yeah, this is just some of the things that is being talked about right now. about how they want to stockpile this. And so since April, care home residents in England have been allowed to regular visitors indoors as lockdown has eased. But the report said providers have not felt bound by the guidance, and the regulator, the Care Quality Commission, the CQC, said it has found that 95% of these providers were enabling visiting to happen. So yeah, the parliament reports said that, that while the coronavirus restrictions had been eased in care homes over the past few months, anecdotal evidence heard as part of its inquiry suggested a large number were not following government guidance. And yeah, a lot of these care homes were not actually following the exact precise. And it comes when you really think about it, when you really look at the things that is popping up. This is just one of the reasons people are not they it's understandable why this is happening like this, as why it is happening, what is happening right now. That's just one of the things people, I mean, at the end of the day, want to see their parents or their loved ones inside these elder homes. So, they need constant care. I mean, it's just understandable. People want to come and visit. I mean, and with the restrictions there, I mean, at the same time, we have to follow the rules and we have to follow the protocols and make sure, we also stay safe while this is happening. So we got to maintain all of that safety as well. It just, it's just a part of all of these things. And yeah, hopefully, or with what many of these care homes are arguing that it's not safe, and they've been they're saying it's not acceptable, and they say many care home providers are arguing that it's not safe, not yet safe to follow the guidance, denying care home residents these important family links as a part of their rights to family life. So this is just completely unacceptable. And it said it was astonishing that the CQC had claimed during its evidence to the committee in April that it was not aware of any care home in England failing to follow the guidance on visits. So yeah, this is just a bunch of the things that is crossing right now in their minds. And yeah, this is just some of the things that they bring up at the moment. And yeah, like I said, it was they were really disappointed. They said it's astonishing that the CQC didn't even notice this. So Labour's Harriet Harman, the chairwoman of the committee, said by not underpinning this guidance in law, care homes have not felt bound by it, and important rights have therefore not been respected. And yeah, the Care Quality Commission assurance that the assurances that visits are being allowed properly now in all homes is wholly unconvincing, because care homes see guidance about following visits as advisory rather than binding. And yeah, the government must now bring forward these regulations to give their guidance on visits legal force. So yeah, the MPs and peers on the committee conclude that to prevent future blanket bans on visits, they wanted it to be a legal requirement that each resident has their individual circumstances assessed. So yeah, when giving evidence to the committee, the CQC said it did not collect quantitative data on how many visits have occurred across care homes. So yeah, the committee urged the CQC to get a grip and ensure more robust processes were in place for monitoring adherence to the guidance by the end of May. So yeah, Kate Tironi, the chief inspector of adult social care at the CQC, said that the regulator had been clear throughout the pandemic that blanket approaches to visiting were just unacceptable. I mean, yeah, this is another thing that they have been discussing about. And yeah, it's just not acceptable for all this. I mean, end of the day, old people are getting it's the risk of the old people getting getting the virus as well. It's just an unnecessary risk that we don't need right now at this moment, and it's not quite needed at the moment. And people need to be safe, need to feel safe, and it's just one of the reasons why there's a lot of criticism coming out from these kind of issues. Why the MPs want laws to protect the care homes visiting rights. So this is just one thing. So, like I said, she said, Kate Teroni said that during 941 inspections in the last 8 weeks, the CQC had found that 90% of these care homes were enabling visiting to happen, and actions were taken against the other 5%. So concerns have been raised with just about 30 potential blanket bans, and we have taken action in every case, she said. And yeah, she also further states, that we expect providers to follow government guidance on visiting where people are entitled to have designated visitors. So yeah, Social Care Minister Helen Whately actually said the care homes themselves should decide on visiting policies. And they say, they recognize that every care home, has like a special layout. There's physical environments, facilities, residents have their own individual health and well-being needs. And this is why, care homes themselves are the best place to decide how to enable visiting safely. So yeah, this is just, some of the things that she was discussing, the Social Care Minister. And the reports come come a day after new guidance came into force in England, allowing care home residents to go on low risk trips without having to self quarantine or isolate for 14 days when they arrive. So in Scotland, care home residents are allowed to choose, two people to visit indoors once a week. Okay, while in Wales, indoors care home visits are allowed for two visitors. So from Friday in Northern Ireland, care home visits are being increased from 1 to 2 a week, each lasting for just 1 hour. Yeah, that is, the situation right now. I mean, it is unfortunate with what is happening right now that they are going through all of this, and these are just issues, that they're trying to tackle right now as it goes by. But hopefully, they are, the government will enable these rules for for the elderly, especially for these care homes, because this is very, very important right now, and this is some of the things that they need to focus on and address as well as time is moving forward. But yeah, moving forward, like I said, all of these things are happening, and there's been also other issues as well, and yeah, it's just crazy, that a lot of these things are happening, and we don't really know what more can you do. And if you look at it, the government has their responsibilities. It's just all a part of these things that they are doing right now. And yeah, and all of this is happening right now in the UK. And one of the things also that is happening right now, so our voters warming up to the local elections. So yeah, the election issues, the elections that is happening, they're getting their final push right now. And yeah, it's just crazy. Are these voters warming up to the local elections? I mean, you guys can tell me all about that. You can always hit me up on those numbers. You know what it is? It is 07852 473 473. Those are the numbers to call. Those are the numbers you can always hit me up on, and let me know what your thoughts and opinions are on these particular matters. And like I said, it's big week for voters in many parts of England, but what issues are dominating their thoughts ahead of Thursday's local elections? Well, as the sunshine tried to break through the cloud at the Ventura Road allotments, there were more talks of the impact of this year's late frosts than this week's bumper crop of elections. So, yeah, politically aware and community-minded people, the allotment holders of Swindon, were planning to vote, but it's unlikely they'll be elbowing each other out of the way in their excitement to get to the ballot boxes. So, yeah, this is just some other issues that is going on, and these are just one of the things that they are talking about. And yeah, like I said, it's perhaps unsurprising that parts of England doesn't seem gripped by election fever, and this year's campaign has been more muted than most. I mean, if you look at it, I mean, look, the country is facing a lot of these problems right now across the UK, and across all of the UK. We're having issues with fishing rows, we're having issues with Boris Johnson, and all of this refurbishment of these apartments. We got a lot of these things, the coronavirus, the pandemic, this whole enchilada of issues that is piling up. And this just goes to show what is happening. And yeah, this is, well, it's just But end of the day, this is all, the elections, what is, being talked about. While leaflets have started dropping through letterboxes in recent years, in the early stages, COVID rules meant door-to-door canvassing was limited. So yeah, it's started to pick up, and the party placards have appeared in windows and can be spotted on the odd stake propped up in a forecourt. So yeah, it's been, since being allowed on these doorsteps. Party activists in Swindon insist they have had a good response, but even in an ordinary year, local ballots don't attract the same level of attention as a general election. And this year, COVID has added to this challenge. I mean, look, end of the day, when you really look at the situation, yes, these ballots and these votings and all of that is not as big as the general elections when compared to the local elections. So even though it's been an ordinary year and they're not been seeing a lot of these things, that doesn't mean there's not huge amount at stake at the moment. So yeah, in most places in England, there are local elections crucial in determining who runs services, from libraries and leisure centers to social care, but they have national significance too. Yeah, it's just part of this. And yeah, you guys better make sure you tune in for more on that. We'll be talking about more of these things. We'll continue this as we go along in the show, but so make sure you guys keep it locked right here on Relax Radio. And with that, we're going to be taking a real quick break and taking a look at your time right now. It is 4:35. Good evening.